Hello, my name's Lou Condrick. Welcome to the Peas, plants, poetry, people and places, and prayer. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about lawn care today. People always want a nice lawn around their property. A nice lawn is a good thing to have. The first thing you got to learn is when you cut the lawn, don't cut it too short. When you finish cutting your lawn, it should still look green. If it looks greenish yellow, you're starting to go into the dead zone of the plant. If you cut the blade and it looks white, you pretty much destroyed that blade of grass. And that's where the grass will die and weeds will find areas to come through. There's all types of grass seed when you're purchasing. There's bluegrass, fescue, ryegrass, there's bent grass, there's zoysia plugs. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about each. Bluegrass germinates in about 2 to 5 weeks, usually 31 days, standard rule. Bluegrass grows from the crown when you cut it, like most grasses. When you cut the grass, it grows from the crown and spreads out, but also grows some rhizomes under the ground. Shoot underneath the ground like this and pop up. That That's rhizome growth of the plant itself. Bluegrass doesn't really grow too well in the summertime in the heat. It's more of a cool weather plant. It's a low growing plant. People like the color of it. It glistens. If you look on an angle, you look at it sideways, it looks like it glistens. Um, it is susceptible to a lot of diseases, so you got to be careful of that too. Fescue is a cool weather plant. There's tall fescue, which is a deep root system plant that's very drought resistant, but it also grows a very tall blade of grass, which some people may not like. It'll stand out in your lawn when your lawn's not cut. So in areas of tall fescue, you'll see. Um, it's like I said, drought resistant. It's also resistant uh, to cool weather. It likes cool weather actually. It's a good range of. It goes either in a shade or the sun. It's good that way in that perspective. There's also what they call creeping red fescue, which is a shade seed. This is a cool climate plant too. And there's also called chewing fescue, which is a shade seed, a cool climate plant. Both of these germinate in 7 to 21 days. Roughly all the fescues are 7 to 21 days. Germination means when water reacts with the seed and it forces growth of the plant to pop out a plant. It comes out of the seed encasing itself. There's an embryo inside the seed and it pops out from the water flow. Now, other types of seed, there are ryegrasses. People get ryegrass. Lots of times people get annual ryegrasses to produce their lawn quickly to prevent soil erosion and let the perennial seeds of bluegrass and fescues and even perennial ryegrasses come in later. Most ryegrasses they'll germinate in about 7 to 10 days, but perennial ryes take a little bit longer. They're very hardy uh, type of lawn grass. It's very coarse and it's good cutting. It makes it for good cutting, and it's very strong in that perspective. It likes the sunlight too. It's a very full sun plant. Now, when plants don't, when the lawns don't spread out right, that's when you get your different weeds to come in. Weeds will find areas that are vacant by lawn and filling those areas with themselves. But when lawns are thick, they'll prevent weeds from punching through the lawn itself. They'll be choked out, actually, the weeds. There's bent grass, too. Bent grass, it dies in a hot sun. You could cut this low. This is one type of grass you could cut low and it'll live. It looks very pretty. It's a very hard type of grass to keep. It's very susceptible to disease, all types of fungus. Um, it's bright green, and people usually get funguses on their lawn, either from the lawnmower or if you hire people to cut your lawns from their lawnmower or from moisture and wind. Now, like I told you, ryegrass is full sun. And there's also zoysia. Zoysia are plugs. Now, zoysia creates a very dense, thick lawn. It's very hard to cut. Uh, it drives out all the weeds. You're not going to see weeds in zoysia grass. But zoysia will invade your neighbor's property. And you might have problems with lawsuits with this. You got to be careful with zoysia grass. By the way, weed and feed will kill zoysia. It will spread throughout the properties. It turns brown in a cold weather towards the fall. It's green during the summer. It's very tolerant to drought, and it prevents a lot of disease. Now, adding clover to your lawn is a good thing. Even though I see different chemicals, weed and feeds that get rid of clover, clover is actually good for your lawn. It's a legume. Legumes actually fixate nitrogen from the air and put it into the soil, and this is shared with all the other grass seeds, grass root systems that will feed off that nitrogen. So clover actually helps feed your lawn. There's all types of legumes, by the way. There's alfalfa legume, clover, like I said, beans, peas, chickpeas, lentils, carob, soybeans, mesquite trees, peanuts. Uh, they're all in the Fabaceae family of plants. Fabaceae. Now, weeds grow in very poor soil and poor pH conditions. pH is potential hydrogen. That's what that means, potential hydrogen. That's when the bonds are at their best so the plant can absorb different nutrients. Bone meal is a good for phosphorus and root growth if you add that to your soil. Adding topsoil organic humus is also good for the soil. The way to tell if you have good soils when it rains. If you have a lot of worms, you're doing good. If you don't have a lot of worms, then it could be a problem. Clay is not good for any type of plant, heavy clay, because it only creates root rot in the plant and destroys the plant itself. Soil richness makes more nutrients in the soil. If the darker the color of the soil, the better. The better if it looks like loam conditions, they call it. Not clay, not sand, but loam being in the middle. Uh, pH should be around 6.7, 6.7, 6.8 for a lawn. This means, like I said, potential hydrogen. You cut your lawn. When you cut your lawn, cut it 2 to 2.5 inches high on a lawnmower, and it should keep your lawn green. You need the green for the chlorophyll to produce new energy for the plant. You take away it's like any plant. Any plant that you remove all the green leaves, the green uh, shoots from the grass, you're killing the plant. It has to have chlorophyll to produce energy through photosynthesis for the plant to keep moving forward. Now, you can use pre-emergence in the springtime to control different weed growth. This will stop all seed from growing. You can't seed and use pre-emergence because it will stop the regular lawn seed from growing too. It will stop crabgrass from developing and things like that, quackgrass um, on your lawn. Lime is very important. Lime keeps your lawn sweet. Keeps it like you want to keep it 6.5, 6.7, somewhere around there for a lawn, 6.8. Um, there's all types of lime. There's pulverized, there's granular, and pellet. Malignite, which is made from sludge, is slow releasing fertilizer for the soil, for the lawn. You could buy that too. It's malignite. Milorgranite. Gypsum helps release fertilizer slowly. It releases actually potash, and it actually helps with calcium in soil releasing in in your soil. The magnesium moves further down, and its calcium, which is on top, is actually released more to the plant itself. Wood ash is another way of increasing soil acidity if you need to make it more acid. You could also buy gypsum will help make it more acidic too. Now, grass lawns need to breathe. It needs air rate in the soil, like any plant. All plants need to breathe at the root system. Remember this: roots exchange oxygen. On top, they exchange carbon dioxide. Punching holes into the lawn itself uh, will help the plant breathe. You should do this in the fall. Clean the dried thatch. Dead thatch and old grass and old leaves smothers the lawn. You should clean the thatch every couple years. By the way, I should tell you too that liming your property should be every 2 to 3 years. You clean out the thatch. You can get a lawnmower with thatching equipment attached to it where he thatches, then you cut the lawn and it picks up the thatch and the dead grass all at the same time. You could rent a thatcher to clean the thatching off your lawn. You could also do it the old fashioned way of getting a rake and you build up your arms. You get real strong arms from doing this. You don't need to go to the gym. You thatch out your lawn with a rake. You'll feel it in your muscles. And always remember, cut your lawn high. All right, I'm going to go into my poem. My poem is called Looking Up. On a beautiful summer day, I lie on the lawn. The lawn, remember that. On a beautiful summer day, I lie on the lawn. It is early morning and only a few hours before dawn. I sigh a deep breath as I look up. I take a sip of my coffee from my doggy cup. In the distance, I hear a beautiful bird chirp. I drink my coffee with a loud slurp. White clouds float by my way above. I see a white bird, but could it have been a dove? The clouds come by singularly and in a group. Their gentleness you would like to scoop. God made the skies with beauty and grace. It gives a calm, serene feeling to my face. For the morning comes a coffee, I go to relax. The rest of the day I work very hard to the max. For it is just myself and my job in my life. For now I have no children, nor even a wife. Thank you. And that was called Looking Up. Now, for my people and places, it's real short. This is actually good. It's a good thing for once. Parks. We need parks. More of them. For our children, animals, and family life. It makes the earth healthy. Trees filter the air. It brings calmness to our lives. A good place to meditate. They could build strip malls with stories on top of one another, and we could keep more of our land. It gives the animals somewhere to go. Please vote yes on Green Acres when it comes up in the voting. We need more parks, not suburban sprawl, and let's replace the trees which clean the air. Finally, my poem is Good Lord, bless the earth and trees which maintain life. Help us become a wiser society on what to do. Protect us from COVID-19 and future diseases. Through Christ, your Son. Amen. Thank you, and God bless.